Now, from the DWRG, Tim Roll Pickering's What Was the Point, published on the 11th of the 11th, the New Look Season 18 continues with another story that feels like a leftover but has been destroyed through rewrites and creative conflicts. Meglos is a very difficult story to categorize, being a terrible mixture of doppelgangers, the all-too-familiar religion versus science conflict, and a runaround of a bunch of intergalactic space pirates. The result is a confusing mess that is difficult to follow and leaves the viewer wondering what it's all about. The story is immensely slow, with the Doctor and Romana literally frozen out of the main events until well into Part 2. Very little effort is made to flesh out the individual characters, with the result that they all come across as weak and ineffective. Meglos himself is an interesting idea, but it is exceptionally hard to understand just how a giant cactus has been able to survive and plot for so long. Also unclear at times is the importance of the Earthling to Meglos' plans, or what might have happened to the Earthling given a different size from the Doctor. The middle parts of the story are little more than a runaround on Tigella, before the final part, which focuses on Zolfa Fura and sees the Doctor and Meglos each impersonate the other and try to win through. It is puzzling that when Romana, K9, and the Tigellans reach the cell holding the Doctor and Meglos, the latter makes no attempt to pretend he is the real Doctor and thus escape from the planet. Finally, the whole thing ends in an explosion and Koi ending back on Tigella, and thus the Doctor and Romana offer to get the Earthling back in time for tea before they answer the summons from Gallifrey. The guest cast is noticeably weak in this story, with virtually no performances standing out at all. Former companion Jacqueline Hill plays Lexa, a role far removed from Barbara, but brings so little to the part that one wonders if it would have been an improvement had someone else been cast. Bill Fraser manages to inject a little life into General Grugger, but the character is over the top at times and ultimately fails. Ultimately, the main performance is Tom Baker's dual role as the Doctor and Meglos. The former remains a subdued, aging individual, as he was in the Leisure Hive, whilst the latter at times behaves like a pantomime villain. What makes it clear throughout just which is which is it does little to enhance the story. Production-wise, Tigella is a mixture of straightforward interior sets and an artificial studio jungle, whilst the Gaztak ship and the Zolfa Furin sets are equally cheap. However, the video effects are an improvement, most obviously the surface of Zolfa Fura, where CSO is used, where the techniques are in place to allow actors to move around objects, and thus the environment feels a lot less artificial than before. This is, however, the only noticeable feature of an uneasy, dreary story that is best forgotten. It is unsurprising that, at the time of writing, this story is the only one from the 1980s that is yet to be released on video.